Welcome back. It is 6:10. There's an exhibit right now at the Central Library downtown with a dramatic depiction of how youth violence is affecting the black community.
And Dick Wolfsie recently stopped by the library to take a look.
Good morning, everybody. We are at Central Library, downtown Indianapolis, with Cordia, Watkins, and a new exhibit has just opened. One of many initiatives that the Central Library does. The whole initiative, the umbrella for you guys, is called what?
The whole umbrella is actually, our initiative is Stand4Peace. The exhibit is titled Kin Killin Kin by Dayton artist James Pate. We brought this in because of all the significant gun killing going on in the African American community, and so the library is taking a stance to actually stand for peace. We want to be a part of the solution.
The title, Kin Killin Kin, obviously KKK, but you made an interesting point to me earlier, and that is that's more than coincidental. Tell us why they did that.
Yes, the artist himself basically is stating that he has pictures of African American young men in KKK attire on purpose, because basically what he is stating is that now the African American generation is doing the killing, the same killing that the KKKs did.
And you've had some experience where youngsters have come in here and have expressed some personal connection to all of this.
Yes, yes. Yeah. We've had school group come through, and some of them have lost uncles, have lost aunts. I had a gentleman who, he came through the experience and he kind of sat down, and I observed him and just began to ask him questions such as, you know, is the artist any good? And he's like, yes, he can really draw, but only to get to the point that he had just recently lost his father to gunshot violence.
I want to talk more about this exhibit because there are several things. When we come back, we'll look specifically at the artist's paintings, charcoal paintings, and then there's other ways to sort of interactive, get the kids involved, and how you debrief them after this experience. But let's talk about that in the next segment. So you stick around, we'll add another guest, and we'll be back in just a little bit. Stay with us.
Yeah, good, compelling stuff. Thank you. Central Library's newest initiative, Stand4Peace, features the art of a celebrated Midwestern artist.
As Dick Wolfsie explains this morning, the artist wants to show how black-on-black violence is having a devastating effect on young African Americans.
We are back at Central Library, and joining me now is Tony Watkins. Still with me is Cordia Watkins. Good morning, folks. This is called Kin Killin Kin. It's part of an initiative, Stand4Peace, by Central Library. And for those of you, I'm going to show you something rather dramatic. By the way, we should mention very briefly, Tony, tell us what's happening here. This must have an impact on the youngsters.
Yeah, it does. Actually, that's taped off like when you get to a crime scene and they chalk it off when somebody's been murdered or killed. So we thought that effect coming right in would hit you along with the bullet casings and the crime tape to make it more realistic. And then later on, I decided to add a shrine because in some of the pictures, like I say, you have to look deep in the pictures because it's a lot of images in the pictures other than the gun that draws you in. And in a couple of the pictures I saw the shrines, and you see the shrines, you know, all over the city when somebody's been killed or something.
Well, let's, while you're talking, I'm sorry to interrupt, let's take a look at that first image, which is so shocking, in part because the man in the KKK outfit is in fact a black man.
Yes, sir.
Tell us about the artist and what do you think he was trying to show?
James Pate's an excellent artist. His main medium is cubism, but he started these charcoal drawings a few years ago when his nephew, I think, got killed by gun violence. And the hoods actually started making their hoodies in the points and their baseball caps in the points to represent, you know, that they are actually killing each other and in a rate so fast that they've surpassed the Ku Klux Klan.
Have you had any reaction for people who, and understandably, might have misunderstood that, and when they see a Klan member black, they're initially offended? Has that happened? And that's an educational experience.
That has truly initially happened. But once you get here and you start reading the captions of what it really is, I think people lose it when they first see it because you see the KKK attire and then you see the gun and you stop. But if you look past that, in every one of his pictures, he has some sort of African American history. And so we had to bring people in here and say, hey, read the caption, look beyond the guns, look beyond the hoods. And that's what we've been doing with people.
Is this a traveling exhibit?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's been to Sarasota, Florida, Dayton, Ohio, Chicago, here, and the next stop is North Carolina.
Okay. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at some more of these incredible images, and another aspect of this exhibit are the, well, we'll show them on the other side of the room. They're actual toe tags representing the death of so many black men and women.
Well, actually, those toe tags are anyone that has passed away. The blue toe tags represent all the people that have passed away just in 2014. So not all African Americans, but anyone that has passed away through violence in 2014. The blue toe tags, that's what they represent.
We'll look at those specifically in the next segment, and the exhibit is open until
September the 28th.
Okay, back to you in the studio.
Powerful images there at the Central Library. It is. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, we've been showing you a new exhibit at the downtown Central Library. It's a dramatic depiction of how youth violence is affecting the black community.
Yeah, this could really make an impact. Dick Wolfsie recently stopped by the library to take a look.
We're back at Central Library with Tony Radford, curator of this really quite dramatic exhibit here at Central Library called Kin Killin Kin. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Let's talk a little bit about these images. The artist, James Pate, is from Dayton, Ohio. When young people see this, all people, of course, black and white see this, it's rather telling. But talk a little bit about a couple of the images.
Okay, the piece here where the gentlemen are sitting at the lunch counters, that was during the Civil Rights Movement when they were sitting at the lunch counters, and, you know, the brutality that happened to them. They put the food on them, spit on them. And it's just showing that, you know, these guys fought for our freedom to be able to go to a restaurant and sit down. And here we are, you know, taking each other's lives. And the next picture here is
there are a couple of sort of hidden images here that are very important.
In each piece you have to look at hidden images. Yeah. In this piece, of course, when, you know, we used to get hosed, and again, these people were fighting for our freedoms. And again, we have young African Americans killing each other. But if you look into the picture, the symbolisms of this is actually a baseball cap, and he just made it into a point to represent a Klan hood. And then he put KKK on it, Kin Killin Kin. And then if you look over here to the far left, it's a half picture of an African mask. So, like I say, you have to look deep into each picture. In some pictures, you might see like a little girl jump roping and bullets going her way, and that represents that, you know, innocent people get killed by drive-by shootings or by shootings in the community when they're doing these gun violence.
I just want to clarify, you know, kids are all like, we were no different. You come by, you look at the picture. It may have an immediate impact, but there has to be some educational process to this. So what happens after the kids look at these images?
Well, after they look at the images, they're going to go through a debriefing section. And then we have different stations set up where the kids can express themselves through poetry, through music, through art, and conversation.
Okay, so it doesn't end just by looking at the pictures.
It doesn't end just by looking at the pictures.
The exhibit opens until September 20th?
September 28th. The artist will be here September.
I'm sorry, let me clarify that. The artist will be here September 20th. We'll put up a graphic to give the details there. You can call or go to your website. And again, the artist, James Pate, will be here.
Right.
And we will be in a discussion with the patrons, right?
Right.
Okay, we'll be back to the studio.
And it's compelling seeing those on TV. I can imagine in person, even better.
Absolutely.
It is. Central Library's newest initiative, Stand4Peace, features the art of a celebrated Midwestern artist.
As Dick Wolfsie explains this morning, the artist wants to show how black-on-black violence is having a devastating effect on young African Americans.
We are back at Central Library wrapping things up. You're looking at some haunting images by a Dayton artist. And tell us a little bit about the artist very briefly.
James Pate, who started on this project in 2000, and he said he's not going to stop until the killing stops. So I can even tell you that I know that he's working on another series at this time. He has a passion for young people. And this is what started this exhibit.
It's Kin Killin Kin is the name of the exhibit, and of course the haunting and immediate image you get is that there are black people in the Klan outfit. Making what point, Cordia?
Making the point that we're actually now doing the killing that the Ku Klux Klan did, and that we have surpassed that number. And so he is basically making a plea that this is what's happening to our generation and we need to stop somehow.
It would be so dramatic for young people to see this, and here is another part of the exhibit which also makes an important point. Tell us about this.
This is our street memorial, our wall of memorial. The names up there represent people who have passed away from gun violence. The blue toe tags represent just 2014. At our opening gala that we actually opened it, we actually read off the names of each person that has died to gun violence just in 2014.
The artist will be here. Tell us about that, and I want to put up a graphic because I want everybody to know that they can actually meet the artist and talk to him about the images. When is that?
September the 20th. We will have him here on Saturday. You can talk to the artist. He will also be signing. We're hoping he signs some piece of artwork because, as you can see, he's a great artist. So, and also be able to talk to the public. We want to have some young people here so that he can talk to them, because that's his whole thing, is that he wants to encourage young people and get them to see what we're doing to our own community here.
Well, it's again, it's a very dramatic exhibit, very powerful. Kin Killin Kin here at the Central Library, and we hope you'll come by and see it. A tremendous educational experience for young people, obviously of all color.
Yes, of everyone. This affects everybody,
Indeed,
not just the African American community.
Indeed it does. Back to the studio.
Dick Wolfsie, thank you. Yeah, what a great opportunity to be able to meet the artist. He has a powerful message through his art, and then to see him in person. I'm sure he has it as well.
Through the 28th of September.
Absolutely.